Hey everyone, welcome you all. In this video, we are going to see how to handle auto suggest dropdown in Selenium WebDriver. So first of all, let's see what is auto suggest dropdown. So let me open my browser and I'll say bing.com. And this is basically a search engine. And here, this is a search box. And when I type something or when I search for something, which will give you some auto suggestions here, and we can select any one of these options, and these options are dynamically displaying every time we won't get the same order, and these options will be displayed in the random order, and we should able to uh, count how many options are here, and also we should able to select one of these options. Suppose I want to select something called Selenium WebDriver. I just need to click on that. So let's see how we can handle this. So this is a bing.com search engine. Now go back to the Eclipse. Now this is my Maven project, which is already created. And in the pom.xml, we have already added Selenium Java library and also WebDriver dependencies. Now let's go to my package, and inside this, I'm creating a new class. I say auto suggest dropdown underscore Bing search. Right. So now let me take the main method and say finish. Now, as a first step, we need to set up the driver and everything. So what we can do is we can say, I'm using WebDriver manager to set up the driver. I say WebDriver manager dot, and I'm setting up the Chrome driver dot setup. So once you've done the setup, then I'm trying to create a WebDriver instance. So for that, I can say WebDriver. I say WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver instance I'm creating. So once you created, we need to import WebDriver from org-openqa.selenium and then Chrome driver. So once you create a driver instance, let me launch my application URL. I'll say driver.get, and here we have to pass the URL of application. Now I'm passing the URL of application. So once you specify this URL of application, and then I'll try to maximize the page. For that, I can use this command driver.manage.window.maximize. So this will maximize the page. So once you maximize the page, the first thing what we have to do is we need to inspect this search box element. Now inspect this element. And once you inspect this element, there is an input tag and there is ID and class name. And there are multiple attributes are already available. So let me just take the ID sb underscore form underscore q, and let's find that element. I say driver dot find element by dot ID, specify the ID and dot. I'm passing some value in it. I can say send keys, and I'm passing something called, let's say, Selenium. So this is a search string I have passed. And once you pass it, then automatically some auto suggestions will be open like this. So these are the options which are open. Now we need to first find how many options are displayed here. Then we will see how we can capture each individual option. Then finally we will see how we can select one of the option. So to inspect these elements, when I suppose I'm inspecting this element, and which is let me inspect one more time, and this is present inside the strong tag, again in the span, and this is present in the div tag. If I just go a little bit up, this is a div tag which is present inside the li tag. So finally, if I see this li tag is present inside the ul tag. So user list ul, inside this there are multiple li tags are there. Even in the li tag, if I just expand this inside the div, here there is a span, and inside the span we can find the actual value. So what I'm doing is I'm just writing one XPath here. I can say slash slash. So directly I'm jumping into li. So when I say li, there are so many list items are there. But if I just look at this, each and every li tag is having same class equal to sa underscore se. And for the second item also sa underscore sg, and here sa underscore sg. So for every class, it's having the same value. So what I can do is here in the XPath, I can specify the class value as SEA underscore SG. Now, if I just look at here, this is exactly pointing to 7 elements, but this is just exactly pointing to the elements, but not actually values. So again, inside the LI, we need to navigate till the span tag. Inside the div, inside the span tag, actual values are there. So direct XPath I'm writing // which is a relative XPath, which will directly jump to the span tag. So when I say span here, so enter, now it is exactly pointing to 7 elements. So now capture this, and now I'm using that XPath to capture all the options. So as soon as you provided this as a search string, what I can do is I can say driver.find elements, and here I say by.xpath. Inside the XPath, I'm passing this. So what this will return now? So this XPath is matching with the multiple options, which is written by the find elements method. And we need to store them into a variable called a list. And the type of the variable should be list of web element. List of web element. All right. So now we are able to capture all the options which are displayed on the auto suggestions and store them into a variable. So we need to import this list from java.util and then web element. So now the list is a variable which contains all the options which have captured from the search. Now let me just find how many are there. So I can just print size, how many options are displayed. So I can say size of auto suggestions. Size of auto suggestions. I'm just printing the list dot. There is a method called size. So list contains all the options, and we need to count how many are there by using list size method I can find. So let me just execute this now as run as Java application. So once you get that options, then it is very easy to read individual options and we can select one of them. Now it is launching my browser, bing.com, and passing the search string. Then we got all the options. Then we go back and see it is giving 0. Why it is giving 0? Because it takes some fraction of seconds of time. So as soon as you provide some text here, immediately you will not get. It takes some time to get these values from the server. So as soon as we send this request, we are getting some time here to get these values from the server. So for that, what we can do is we can just put some wait time after getting this, or else we can insert a implicit wait. So as soon as I created the driver here, I'm trying to insert my implicit wait. I can say driver dot. So I say driver dot manage dot timeouts dot implicitly wait, and here I'm passing the duration. I say duration dot of seconds, and here I can pass, let's say 10 seconds. So when I put implicit wait, so there will not be any delay. So let me execute one more time as a Java application. Now we can see it is launching my browser, opening the URL, searching the string. Now we got some values, and now go back and see, now this time we got 8 options. So totally the 8 options are displayed in the auto suggestion. So now the next thing is we will read each and every option. So among these options, I want to select one of these options. So let me show you here. I have selected multiple options here. As soon as I search for something, it is giving these options, and one of the option I want to select. So for that, what I have to do is first we need to read individual option value and compare that with your expected value and then select it. So for that, we can write a loop statement here, a simple logic. So I'm writing for each loop. Inside this for each loop, I can say I'm taking this list which contains all the options and reading individual option into variable. I can say list item, and here this is a web element type, because all the options which we have read inside the list variable is web elements. So from this list, I'm reading each and every web element into list item. So what I'm doing is, if the list item, I'm capturing the text value from it. I say get text list item dot get text. And once you get the text, which is equals to which one you want to select here. So I want to select something. Suppose I want to select this Selenium. So, or you can say Selenium WebDriver I want to select. So you can just pass that value. I can say Selenium and WebDriver. So inspect this element, or you can just inspect this element, and whatever the value which is there in the span, you should able to select. Now let me just select the Selenium, and then I can say this particular list item, I'm going to click list item dot click. And after clicking on that element, immediately we should break. Means we need to come out from this entire loop statement. Now let us see how it is going to work. So from this list, I'm reading each individual web element into this variable, which is list item. And I'm comparing the list item dot get text. I'm getting the value or text value of the list item and which is equals to this one. Then immediately go and click on that element and come out. So break command is a jumping statement, which will coming out from the for loop. So why we need to use break command here? Because as soon as you click this item, there are no more elements there. So we need to immediately come out from the for loop. Suppose if this is not equal, then it will go up and get another element or another option. Then again get the text, compare with the value and click on it. So this loop will repeat multiple times till your the value, whichever you specified here, which is matching with the one of the option in the list, and then which will select it. So this is how we need to simply write a logic, and this is the XPath which is most important, which will match with all the options. All right. Now let me execute and see how it is going to work. Right click, run as Java application. So now it is trying to launch my Chrome driver. And you can see the browser launch bing.search, bing.com.ss Selenium. So as soon as you search for it, Selenium, it is automatically taken it. So now we can see Selenium is taken. So let me just change the string now. So instead of Selenium, I just want to select something called Selenium download. So this is the value I want to select, Selenium download. So let me go back and search for one more time. Selenium download I want to select. So where exactly it is, just a moment. Selenium, and inspect this element, Selenium download. And in the span tag, you can find here it is a Selenium, it is a download. So let me just take the download, and instead of equals, I'm just trying to use contains also. Okay, so I say contains and download. So whichever you can see download, that one will match, and select that option. Now let me execute here, run as Java application. So Chrome driver was started successfully, launching my browser, and now provided the Selenium, and now finally you can see Selenium download is selected. So this is how we can handle the auto suggested drop down. And this is a one example. And same thing we can do for Google search also. Let me quickly show you the Google search. Now close my browser and go back to the google.com. Google.com. This is also search engine. And here you can just specify something. I say, let me say Java. So when I say Java, you can see number of options are here. So I want to select one of these options. Let's say a Java tutorial. I can say Java tutorial. I can see number of options here. So I want to find how many options are there. And finally, I want to select one of the option. Now let's see how we can handle this. This is a Google search engine. Now the same logic we have to apply here also. So what I can do is I can just copy the same code, auto suggest drop down. Instead of Bing search, I say Google search and say, okay. All right, so now Google search. Now let me go back and slightly I'll modify the code. So WebDriver manager, Chrome driver I'm launching, driver instance I created, implicit wait, and instead of bing.com, I'm trying to launch google.com. Okay, and then it is maximizing the page. So now what we have to do here is we need to identify the search box. So inspect the search box element, and you can see some attributes, class, name, or so many other options are there. So name is already there. So I'm just taking the name attribute value to identify the element. So I'm just removing this. Okay, this one. And here I'm identifying the element. I say driver.find element by dot name attribute I'm taking. This is a name and a dot send keys. And here I'm passing something called Java tutorial. Okay, this is the search string I'm providing. So when I pass Java tutorial, what are the other options it is displaying? Let me just search for it again, google.com. And here I'm typing Java tutorial. So when I say Java tutorial, you can see number of options are displaying. I'm just want to select something, one of the options here. So this is a search string I'm passing into the box. And now what I have to do is, as soon as you pass the search string, I want to find out all these options. I want to capture these options. So for that, what I have to do is we need to write a proper XPath. So let me inspect one of this element. and see the HTML hierarchy, how it is going to handle. So which is basically, these values are basically present inside the span tag. And if I just go a little bit above, there is a div tags, and actually all the divs are present inside the li tags. Now here also you can see ul user list. Inside this there are multiple li tags are there. So each li tag, each li means list item, so every list item tag is representing the list item in the authorization box. Now let me write one proper XPath to capture this all the options. So let's carefully understand here. First we will directly jump to the li. So from the li there are other div options also available, and we can directly jump to the span tag because the value is exactly present in the span tag. So if I just look at this first li and expand the div tag, second div tag, there are multiple options are there. So here inside the div tag there is a span tag. So this is the same for every li tag. So let me write proper XPath which will find out all these options. So for that what I can do is, and again if you just look at here for every li, so for every li, you can see a class attribute which is ASBCT, which is common for every li tag. So I'm using that one. I can say slash slash li, and in the XPath I can specify class at the rate class equal to, and class is SBCT. So till here, if when I execute this, which is pointing to 11 element, which are list items, but how we can capture exact values in the list items? So for that, I can extend this XPath. I say slash slash. So inside the div, there are multiple spans are there. If I just look at here, if I expand the div tag, there is a one more div is there, right? So inside the div, and there are other divs are there, we need to directly go to span. So this div is the most important. So inside this, I can write something called a div tag, and here there are multiple div tags are there, but we need to find out the proper div tag where exactly the span tag is present inside the div. What's the class name of this div is SBL1. Okay, and if I just look at here, this is the one, and here is a span, there is empty value. Now let us go and check another list item. If I just go back, go to the second one, div tag, and you can just look at here, there is a role option is there, role attribute is there, and inside the li we directly jump into the div which is having role equal to option. Inside this we can find the value in the span tag, we can find the value. So first we have to directly go to this li tag first. From there we have to navigate to the div which is having role equal to option. From there we will navigate to the span. So now here what I'm doing is div of, I'm using a role attribute here, at the rate role, role equal to, in the single quotation, what is the role is option, option, and till here which is pointing to exactly 11 items, but inside the span actual value is there. So I'm directly jump into the span. So now exactly it is pointing to the elements, 22 elements it is giving, and we can just see here div of 1. So we missed the div tag here. So inside this div, so we have provided one div tag. Inside this there is one more div tag actually. If I see div role, inside this one more div, inside this span is there. So here we have to specify one more div, as say index also 1, and then inside this we have a span. So now exactly it is pointing to 11 elements. So now this is a proper XPath which we have to write before capturing the options. Now I'm using this XPath to capture all the items. So we provided this value, and here this particular statement will capture. So here x.xpath, by.xpath, I'm passing this XPath. So now once you pass this XPath and get all elements into a variable which is a list, from there it is again normal process. So how we can find the number of options? Size of authorizations is list.size, which will give you how many options are displayed, right? So now let me just execute till here. I'll comment this for loop, later I'll enable this. So first of all, let's see how many options are displayed. Run as Java application. Now you can see it is launching my page, google.com, Java tutorial. And now we'll see how many options are displayed here. Now it is saying just such auto only one. So why it is giving only one? Because we need to increase some wait time. Let me just cross check once again. So Java tutorial I have passed. So Java tutorial. Okay, this is perfectly fine. Now, if I just come to the XPath, li class sbct, inside the div role option, div of one, and then span. So perfectly fine. Let me just execute one more time. I'll also keep some time here. I'll say thread dot sleep of, let's put 3000 milliseconds. Okay, and then execute once again, run as Java application. It is launching my browser, google.com, searching for Java tutorial, and it is giving some of the options. Now go back. Now we can see auto sessions, totally 11 options are displayed. Fine, because once you send this request, it will take some time to get the response options. So we need to put some weight there. Fine. So now once you get how many options are there, the next thing is we have to select one of them. So which one we want to select? So I want to select something called, let's say, one of the option, let's say this one. So Java tutorial for beginners, I want to select this one. Okay, or else you can just select here Java tutorial. Java tutorial. There are multiple in every string there is Java tutorial. So what I want to select is a Java tutorial for beginners. So beginners option is there or not, I will verify. So I'm enabling the for loop, and if I just look at this, from this list, I'm again getting each and every option in the list item here. And from that list item, capturing the text value, which is contains the beginners. So here I'm searching for beginners. So I say beginners. Okay, then what we'll select? It will Java tutorial for beginners will be selected. So list item dot get text dot contains the beginners. Then click on that item and come out from this for loop. Break statement will jump out from this for loop as soon as the string is matched here. Suppose if it is not matching, then it will go up and get the another list item, again get the string, compare with our expected, and it will not exactly check the equality, which will check this is the contains in the actual string or not, because we use a contains method. And then which will click on the element and come out from the for loop. So this is how this logic works. Now let us try to execute and see how it is going to work. And after that, yeah, let me run as Java application. So now it is launching google.com. Now enter the text, search it, searches text. Now it is selected Java tutorial for beginners, exact value which is selected. Okay, so this is how we can handle. So auto suggested drop downs, we can say auto suggested drop downs. So these values are coming from the server dynamically. Every time you don't see the same order, and every time you don't see the same values. Okay, dynamically these values will be appear. So this is how we can handle auto suggest drop downs in Selenium WebDriver. So in the next video, we will see few more important questions. So that's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.